What is going on, guys? It is time for another episode of the Chasing Waypoints podcast. And, well, Dakar 2023 went off. And, man, there was a lot of stuff going on. And definitely a great event. Very, very challenging. Nobody has said that it was an easy event, that it was a walk in the park. But to bring that home a little bit better, we're talking to the Dakar competitors, the guys that lined up and went out and took on the challenge. And, well, if you read the show title, we're going to go with episode 99 for this one. Why 99? Because we have none other than Mason Klein on this one. Competitor number 9, race number 9. So I am absolutely stoked to be talking to him and a little bit about his Dakar adventure. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and flip this open here. Let's see if we can get him on the horn really quick. That was a perfect... I missed the perfect opportunity to fade that out. Just so perfect. Was in the garage wrenching right now. Getting that Moto-Minded tower installed. Let's give him a call.
Hey, Victor.
Mason, what's going on, sir?
Not too much, just hanging out.
Very nice.
Hanging out. Getting ready to go to Carter's first round of the Hare and Hound series that he's going to win.
There you go.
Class.
He's got that red plate, right?
Yeah, looks good.
Very nice. Where's that at?
Johnson Valley, Dad? Yeah, Johnson Valley.
Oh, okay. That's not that far for you guys, right?
Yeah, not too bad. My dad says good morning.
Yeah, morning. So are you guys back on Pacific Coast time, or are you still waking up in the wee hours?
I woke up at 8 today, and I really wanted to wake up early and go to a restaurant called Homemade.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man.
I'm pretty much back on.
My dad says he's good to go.
Nice.
All day on the plane when you come in back to kind of get started on the readjustment.
My dad's like the best.
Yeah, had you properly fed and everything.
Yeah.
Drove the motorhome. It almost seems like the motorhome race was tougher than the real race.
Yeah, explain that, Dad.
Yeah, no, that was just a lot of waking up early to get the breakfast made and all his hydration and his morning hammer pills. So
I was taking like 100 pills, but I actually,
wasn't quite that.
Very surprised. I didn't lose weight at this race. I gained weight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was eating proper, and let's just think it's all muscle, because I feel like
I had him a little too well.
I don't have a floppy belly. I'm like skinny, but I'm 170 something pounds, and I went there at like 165.
All right.
It's good.
So it's almost like going to the gym and working out.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that compare to the previous? Did you lose weight at the last Dakar?
Yeah, so at the last Dakar, I lost like 15 pounds.
Oh.
But I'm thinking it's probably has something to do with the fact that I had COVID the whole race.
Mm.
And this year, I didn't get sick until coming home.
Oh, wow.
But there's a lot of people that were sick. Like, I think you work so hard and your body just can't fight the virus,
Yeah, it's using all its energy to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I was actually talking to Mo earlier, and he was saying the same thing. I guess the bivouac hack is a thing. People getting kind of sick and not feeling the best.
Yeah, everybody started coughing.
Immediately when we got there, I was like, just stay away from everyone.
Yeah. Isolate and make it happen.
Yeah. When I got out of the race, that's when I started hanging out with everybody. I was like, okay, now we can have fun.
And then that's when it happened.
Yeah, makes sense.
Nice. Yeah. So last year lost weight. This year didn't lose as much weight. This year, I remember we were talking in the conversation that never happened, because I'm just going to chalk it up to I screwed up and I didn't hit record. I'm not going to blame the equipment. Extreme ownership. So the conversation that never happened, we were talking about that you last year learned a lot, but you came home right away with a game plan of what you were going to do to build speed.
Yep. So this year, before the race even started, I knew I was lacking in a few areas. Like, I knew I'm not going to win the car this year because, like, I think it was possible to win, but I think I wasn't. Like, it's not a guarantee win, and I know exactly why, because when I go to the race, I'm like, yep, you'd always have better fitness just for the dunes. Like, on one stage I came in and I said, I just slowed down. Like, I couldn't hold the same speed because you just get tired. It's so much dunes for so long.
I can only imagine then muscling the bike around and
yeah. So, strategy. I never learned about like building a base, cycling or endurance or whatever, My brother and I, we kind of just go as hard as we possibly can every time we're in the gym, every time we're on a bicycle. And I guess that's just like not the right way to do it. So we're going to start first with that, like building a base, working on our endurance. Because I learned clearly you can always have better endurance, but I also knew that before the race started. And I think you can always have stronger legs in the dunes. My upper body didn't hurt so bad. I mean, it hurts because I crashed, but it doesn't hurt from riding. Yeah. So I think I'm going in the right direction with working out and in the gym. It just could always be better. And lastly is in the dunes, obviously, you could always be better. I could always be better. I could always be better everywhere, obviously, but the reason why I wouldn't win Dakar this year is because I need to work on my speed in the dunes. And obviously the only way I know how to do that would be to go to the dunes. So that's the plan for this year, is to do as many dunes as possible.
Now, that was when we were talking. First of all, I mean, this is awesome because it's like, all right, Dakar's done. I know what I need to focus on. I'm moving on that. What we talked about previously, you were working from the last year, what you had learned, I think you were mentioning is working more on the speed side of it and being more comfortable at speed.
Yeah.
And so that obviously showed at this Dakar. Stage win. Yeah, for sure. Stage win, challenging up at the top. I love the fact that you were opening stages, which was awesome.
Yeah. You know what? At first I was really disappointed in the time bonus thing, but obviously it helped a good amount. Like, if I start the stage and I open first, I finish third. Like, it was perfect.
Yeah. You didn't fall as far back.
Yeah, I go a whole 400-kilometer stage without getting caught by Skylar. I was really proud of myself because the stage wasn't super easy to navigate, and
and to have a clean run.
Yeah, I was happy.
So I'm sure, once again, just like last year, you raised a lot of eyebrows. There's a lot of people, which is awesome. I mean, and that was something that we had. It was funny because I got this thing going, and it's actually uploading all of the podcast episodes from the beginning. It's uploading it to YouTube automatically. And I was at work, and your episode came in, the one that we talked before you went to the Dakar, the first year. And I was listening to that, and we very specifically talked about you opening stages. And, I just feel focused. I feel concentrated. I feel, it's like you enjoyed it when everybody else is like, I don't want to open a stage.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to see so many people were like, that I was talking to in some of the conversations that I was seeing. Oh, he's opening the stage. I don't know. I'm going, nah, he's not as nervous opening stages, or he's not as at a disadvantage as a lot of people.
Yeah, last year I got to open one stage for, in and out for, 300 something kilometers. And then year I got to do 400 kilometers just all by myself. And it was like a dream come true. So that was awesome. And then I think the stage I started third, I also opened most of the stage with Skylar and Daniel. I mean, not most of it, but like I got to do a lot of work. So
good chunk.
I got them for the refuel, and I got to get some of that time, like the first opener guy bonus. It's like more bonus time for starting third. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was like everything I could ever wanted.
Nice. So so in the end, after the dust is settled, the bonus time thing, you think it should stick around? Should it be more time, less time?
So I think most people were like happy with the time bonus for opening, like to third. Mm-hmm. They were not so happy with the dune opening time. Like they wish it was more because it's obvious that you lose. It's like the time bonus I figured out for like the rocky stages does not work in the dune stages. It needs to be more.
Gotcha. The dune navigation being slower, right?
Yeah, like I guess I would have never guessed. I thought it was easier, but you lose more time in the dunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, they got something right.
Yeah,
it's better than limiting tires.
Yeah, for sure. But that speed limit thing.
Yeah.
I know multiple people, including myself, that crashed at like 100 miles an hour. So
that's an interesting one for sure, because now when you put a speed limit like that, now obviously if you were on a dry lake bed and your bike is capable of doing 105 or 110 flat out on a dry lake bed, it's safe, right? I mean, relatively. But now you
look down, and if there's any danger on the dry lake bed, it doesn't matter because you're looking at your handlebars, not at the danger.
Yes, because you're trying to be right on that. Then you also know that if you are just thinking out loud, right? If your bike is capable of 110, right? And this isn't the whole rally, but if it's not capable of 110, you won't make up time on that dry lake bed. So that means everywhere else, you need to be on the speed limit.
Yeah.
Including in sections that you really shouldn't be on the speed limit, but you kind of have to be because the guys in front of you are the guys who are sending it.
A twisty turn's coming up, and I'm trying to stay at the max speed, and turns out that turn's a bit more sharp than you expect, and you blow the turn and get crazy.
Yeah, because you were trying to milk every second out of it.
That only happened once, but
yeah,
it's like in the sandy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
There's on some of the days the ruts were so deep, and you come into like wide open flat section into a like super messed up turn because there's so many tracks and get all sketch.
Yeah, it gets sketchy really fast.
Bars, not at the terrain, and like that's the best example I have, I guess, of being sketch.
Yeah. So we'll go with a win for the time bonuses. We'll go with a fail for the overall speed limit.
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Fairly accurate there. So what else? Let's see. What else did they didn't end up doing the AB road books.
No, that was frustrating because I was kind of hoping they would just say nothing and the stage would start and it would be an AB road book and half the race would go. I mean, the whole race would go the right way, which is also the right way. Mm-hmm. And I was just hoping that I'd be the only one to pay attention.
Yeah.
But it never happened.
Yeah.
I messaged a few people to talk to David Castera, like in secret, for me. Mm-hmm. And they said the plan was like stage 12 and 13 secretly. And it never happened.
Yeah.
It happened, deep. But I wasn't aware while being there.
Oh, and that would have been, with the way that the rally was going, that would have been nuclear. Like, there would have been some really pissed off people about that because they were fighting for seconds.
Yeah, I bet that's why, right? Because the race is so close, and if it came down to something like that.
Yeah, they'd be calling out the organization on that. It would probably lead to the stage being thrown out.
But also, God, they just need to learn how to navigate. That's the most frustrating thing, because the stage I crashed, no one was reading the road book. Like, everyone kept getting lost. Like, after I lost my road book, no one was reading the road book.
They're just
it was one person reading the road book at a time and everybody following. And that was just so annoying because I had no road book and all I could do is follow. It's like, we just read the road book. We could just keep moving, guys. But no.
Yeah. Here, just give me your road book.
I asked at the refuel. I said, okay, guys, one of you just give me the road book. Well, we got this.
Yeah.
After the first crash, unlike last year when I hit my head, I forgot how to read the road book. This year, I must have had no problem reading the road book because I guess I got all mad at Ross Branch, even though he's the one stopping to make sure I'm okay. Yeah. And I took off like wide open, and I was the first one to leave the refuel with no road book. Yeah. So it's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, I can imagine the frustration. No. I mean, I'm laughing now, but yeah.
My brain was not working right. So whatever happened after the crash, I don't know what caused me to crash. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming we were looking at the speed limit because I never heard from Ross, but Ross told Bart and I heard from Bart that we were going at the limit, and I had like a washout from all the rain. Yeah. He said I'm lucky to have a head. I looked at the helmet. I think he's right. I'm lucky to have a head.
So
at the finish line, I say, this is what happened. I don't remember what happened. This is what happened.
Yeah.
I go on to tell the complete wrong story about hitting Ross, and like, no, Ross is just the only one that stopped for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And that, I mean, if he was up behind you and was close enough to see what happened, then obviously, I mean, you go that far, no crash, no incidents, and this was literally what was going to happen by having to constantly check being on the speed limit. And if the organization thinks that, well, don't look at the speed limit. Well, so
I stopped looking at the speed limit halfway through the race. Like, I remember telling myself, don't look, it's dangerous. But the other thing that I'm thinking about for like why I crashed is I don't know if I crashed right after passing Ross or if I was already ahead of him for a while. Like, you can't blame just the speed limit, obviously. Like, I understand that. But in the end, I still don't even know exactly why I crashed, or I don't have an idea of why I crashed. I think it'd be good to know, like, when I'm practicing and I pass someone or I see someone, then I make mistakes navigating, Because
you're worried about the person around you.
Because I'm worried about the other people, like my brother just said.
Yeah.
I'm losing focus. So obviously something was going on. And I think I remembered, like I think I remember something from the day, but who knows? I could just be making it up. I swear I remember saying people usually crash when they're around Ross because Ross goes fast too, Get around him and all you're worried about is going fast. And
playing follow the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I've seen it in off-road racing. You just follow the dust light right into the ditch.
Yeah.
They screwed up, you follow. But I mean, this is going to be interesting because it's just, there's a reason, like say, for instance, there's a reason why the repeaters and the road book are so high up on the bike. Yeah. Right. It's to keep it in your line of sight so you're not looking elsewhere and are able to look in the terrain. So
yeah,
maybe I agree with you. Maybe that wasn't the sole reason, but it could just have easily been the reason too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean that, back, you've been checked out. So what's,
right.
Are you ready to ride?
No, I hurt everywhere so much. Like getting in and out of bed is so painful. When I move my legs, it like hurts, goes straight to my tailbone. When I'm riding in the car and we hit any bump, I feel like shock straight through my spine. It's like, it feels like I'm just falling straight to my butt again.
Ouch.
Lexi says I'm the biggest baby. But
it's not a cold.
I don't mean to hurt.
No. But I mean, some recuperation, some gym work, I'm sure it'll be back.
My brother and I did plans this season. Right, Carter?
Yeah, huge.
Carter's winning the Hair Down Championship, and I'm surviving the dunes.
There you go. So
that's the point.
I'm curious about that. So you've ridden Sonora. You've been around the desert down here in California. Are there any dunes that compare to what you were riding out there?
Not really, because those are the biggest dunes I've ever rode in my whole life. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Like the first problem is you look at a wall and you say, they went all the way to the top of the wall. The track's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Every day before this stage, it was always so super steep, even some of the dunes during the day. Like, it's like you're hitting a wall at the bottom of the dune, you know?
Ugh.
So I'd always come in extra cautious and slow because my neck is already breaking and I'm worried. And I don't want to whiplash into a wall. But these dunes, they're like the transition at the bottom off the dry lake beds was actually super smooth. And you saw the cars just, I don't understand. They understand that it was okay to go that fast into the wall like that. I forget what I'm talking about. What were we talking about?
Yeah, the steepness of the dunes. I'm just picturing lawn darting into it. It's so steep.
I've never done anything like this. They were so steep, and it just most of them were okay. But I made it not okay by coming in cautiously and not wanting to hit a wall. I'd barely ever make it to the top. For sure, I lost a ton of time every day just because you either go right up the dune or you struggle and start going sideways at the dune, you know? Like halfway up, you're like, okay, I'm barely going to make it, or am I going to make it? And like, that's another spot I know I lose time in the dunes is just I told Skylar and everybody in the race at the refuel, do you know how much time you lose almost making it to the top? You know?
Yeah.
Like, the difference between making it up the dune and almost making it or almost not making it is pretty big difference.
How does that end up? I mean, I'm dumb when it comes to riding the dunes. So I can see you almost make it. Then you got to either come back around or you got to do something to be able to hit it rather than that last second it would have taken you to just get over the top.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, every situation is going to be different, but almost every time we'd come up to a giant dune, I would almost not make it, you know? So my speed up the dune, just confidence coming into the very bottom of the wall, it's not there. But also, I felt like it was for safety, like it was fair. But
yeah,
gnarly.
You're on, I mean, I see it like a car. I would think like, oh, okay, you got a skid plate and you've got, you know, these big ass tires. You've got a huge contact patch. So you could literally send it into the face and all it's going to do is bounce up off of it and then just start going up. A bike is on a very skinny front tire, relatively speaking. So if that's too soft, then, you know, it's just a lawn dart. Yeah, it's literally a face plant into it. That's crazy. Yeah.
My mom's, she has great input also.
Hi,
Lisa. Good morning.
Everybody's waking up for eating donuts.
There you go.
Douglas is a champion.
They're high protein donuts for those playing the home game. Don't worry. They're healthy.
Yeah. They're protein. We were gonna go to a restaurant called Homemade and have some real food, but we'll see what happens now.
How is that from when you're? I mean, I kind of already know the answer asking, but being in the motorhome and having your dad cook for you versus the bivouac food from the year before.
Oh, I ate in the bivouac like twice just because people were there, like just I wanted to hang out.
Yeah, but
I avoided the bivouac food. After the first day, I said, I'm done. Another guy, Mario Flores, he was driving the motorhome for a rider named Francisco Arredondo. He's won Baja like a million times with Dalton Shirey and a million other people.
Yeah.
Like, gnarly guy. He finished the car and I didn't. So that tells you a lot, I think. They drove around every day, going to all the markets. You know, they served camel in the bivouac.
No.
Yeah. And I was asking for camel the whole trip. Like, let's eat camel. Camel burgers coming up. Where are they? Come on, Dad. Where's the camel? They're all eating it in the bivouac.
Oh, no way.
Not every day, obviously, but like, so you can milk camels, you can drink camel milk, and camel meat is like a delicacy.
Like a thing.
They say it smells, but it tastes really good.
That sounds like goat. We like birria.
We had like lamb chops. So, of course, probably not good if the organization hears this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to sneak all the fancy food I can get. And like, we go to like where the Royals eat and stuff, you know.
Nice.
And on rest day, there's like this tent, and our friend from Morocco came for like the Moroccan rally something.
Yeah.
And like we got in, I got to meet like all the fancy people and got to eat the good food.
What did you say?
Nice.
And they have good food, just not in the bivouac for what the racers are allowed to eat. You know?
Not for the majority, not for the 9,000 people that they got to serve.
Yeah, so food is good,
Yeah.
but not for me.
Yeah.
And for anyone else, not for any of the other Americans.
It's very different.
Just the locals. So
Nice. So that's, I mean, so we got the nutrition down. That was a big one. And that, you know, it's interesting. And all the people that I've talked to about the Dakar, that's always one of the big things is like weight loss during the event, like being an actual thing.
yeah, so turns out if you don't bring a motorhome and have someone cooking you real food, I feel like I was way more competitive just because I was properly nutritionized, you know?
Yeah.
Like going next year, the thought of going next year without proper nourishment, my mom says, it's like you're setting yourself up for failure, you know?
Yeah.
Because I felt okay this year. There was never a stage where I was like, this is the hardest day of my life. Last year, the stage, I was like, I don't know if it was stage 7, stage 8. I was like, it's never ending. I don't know if I'm going to make it. This is so hard. I never felt that this year.
Yeah. Good.
Even the where I sat down the whole time, I came in like 40 something. I was like, I'm having fun. This is good. Like, besides the fact that my brain doesn't work and I can't ride, I got to tell you the story about my last day at the Dakar Rally.
Yeah.
So at the start, everybody telling me, just push on, man. You got it. You're going to win. You're starting all the way back here, 20 something. You're going to win the stage. Congrats before it starts. And I said, oh yeah, watch this. I started both feet in the air, pointing forward, like I'm sitting in a chair, but like, you know, you can imagine just toes up in the air. I started off with a no footer.
Yeah.
I made sure to not roost or make any dust for the start line crew because they've been so kind to me and the whole race, the whole race, you know, and I was like, all right, this is my chance to say thank you.
Nice.
So I cruised away. I did get lost right away because, again, my brain's not working right. I got lost at kilometer 5 on this stage. I also got lost the day before, I think. That's why I got 20th, and because I couldn't ride. Yeah. So my brain's not working, and I'm thinking, let's just try to have fun and follow the tracks like everyone else. Not like everyone else, but...
Yeah, like a few people.
I was making a joke of the race in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, is it possible to have fun? Can you have fun?
Did you pull over and wrench on someone's bike?
Yeah. So the first time I pulled over at the top of a dune, was like, I have to go pee. Well, let's go pee. Like, I'm not in a hurry. Like, nothing matters. So then I pee at the top of the dune, and I took my phone out. This phone is broken at Apple right now. So I don't have the video. Super not good. Like, the phone is broken. It's ruined. But then I was like recording the racers coming by, having fun, and next thing you know, I come across a rider, Niels Therick, I think is how you say his name, something like that. He was having fuel pump problems, something. Both pumps no good.
Ooh.
And I learned very important stuff this race because of it. So first I told, because it sounded like only one of the pumps was wrong, I gave him an O-ring off fuel transfer line to move the gas from the front tanks to the rear, like I told him to, like I did. And then I was like, all right, you know what? It was faster for me to just take the tank off. And I was trying to help him, and he was like, come on, man, keep going. Like, he thought I was still racing.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, it's not a race anymore. We're having fun. But anyways, I left him in the desert because he told me to.
Yeah.
Then we get to the finish. Means nothing. Like, it's whatever. Then I get on the road, and I come across him on the side of the road. I'm like, when did you get around me? I have no clue. Don't remember this. And the bike is just not running, and he has to go so far to the finish. Like, he finished the special and his bike is just not working. Like, he feels so bad. I think he was fighting for top 5 rally too. And I was like, dude, I'm here for you. So I stayed with him. We changed the fuel pump. I held one of his front tanks up in the air to block the sun because he's just dripping sweat. Because he's sitting in the sun all day. I don't know how long he sat out there for. Could have been that long because he passed me back quick, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. Good job, dude. See you at the finish. To see him again on the side of the road, it wasn't the fuel pump or the fuel injector. And I remember KTM gave me this fancy plug. It's for the TPIs. And what it does is, like, for me, what it does at home is I plug the plug into the diagnostics plug and it powers up everything. And I can do all the mapping on my brother's race bike, you know?
Gotcha.
And I was thinking, it's got to be a power issue, some ground, something is not right. I don't know what it is. There's no way both fuel pumps are going out at the same time, right? Like, it's possible,
but very unlikely.
Seems very unlikely, right? So I plugged in a diagnostics electronics plug to the plug right by the ECU, and it turned on both fuel pumps, and the bike ran perfect all the way back.
No way.
So if both fuel pumps are going out, they're probably not really going out. You need to be carrying this plug, and your life is saved. So that's like a rally hack right there, I guess. Something that I'll probably remember forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that could save a lot of people. But you don't just carry that unless no one would carry that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of a random carry. Like, it's not for what it's intended for. Like, I'm pretty sure KTM didn't say, hey, by the way, if both your fuel pumps ever go out, plug this in really quick.
Yeah. I don't know why they gave it to me. I mean, I'm sure they gave it to me because they're wondering if I was an idiot the stage where I had the water in my gas and maybe it was this and maybe this would have fixed it. Maybe it would have fixed it. I have no idea. But they gave it to me ever since that stage, and I've been carrying it the whole race. And on this day that I'm not racing or I'm having fun, it comes to use.
Yeah.
So if you race rally, it's probably not so important for a moto guy because it's probably not good to run with everything powered up like that. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
You need to carry the plug for the TPI that goes into the diagnostics thing. And yeah.
Run it. Yeah. So all the guys with the RFRs that have the multiple fuel pumps.
Yeah.
You know, they want to have, that would be a good spare to have because that's.
Or you're on your 500 in Sonora and for some reason it's not working because I also had this problem and I think it would have fixed it. Carter had the problem actually. I think it could save a lot of people. It's probably not good that I give away these secrets, right? Like, my dad gets mad at me all the time. Like, Carter's telling everybody what springs to run for the new bike. Like, he's doing all this testing. He's put like 30, 40 hours on his 23. And we screw it up by giving away all this information.
The sauce. Giving away the secret sauce.
Yeah, but I feel like it's fair because it should just be the better rider, you know?
You still have to know how to ride.
Yeah, you still got to know how to ride. So I feel like Carter and I are not worried about it, and we want people to finish the race. So
yeah,
you should carry the plug, and especially because I heard you're racing Sonora, even though you didn't tell me.
Not racing Sonora. I'm actually. It's funny. I literally just talked to Mo, and I told him that I'm looking at signing up for the SoCal Rally with Dan.
Okay, so my brother will be at a Hairdown that weekend, and Lexi and I want to go because it's like the best rally you can go to. I think it's just as good as Morocco without the dunes, and it's just as good as Saudi without the dunes. Like the riding, it's nice. It's like what you need, you know. And then his navigation is super good. It's really tough. Earlier in the year, he gave us one of the stages. It took us like 7 hours with Harth Noah and Mike Wyden.
No.
Who?
Oh, was it that?
No.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, Mike. Mike.
Oh, I
It's
thought it
Mike
was
and
not.
A German.
no, I didn't. It was Mike.
Oh.
Yeah, and Lexi also did it, and pretty much.
man.
Smoked. So,
All
but
right.
yeah,
So I'm going to have to do a lot of road books between now and then.
there's some hard things I can tell you out there, and if you don't start early on whatever stage this was, no chance.
It's going to be a long day.
We finished, and like at the end there's like 3 notes that were messed up, and he was like, "Yeah, I never got that far." Like, okay, so
he won it on the last ones. He's like, this will work.
yeah, but it was good. And the problem is, like, there's so many new things out there. Every road book you make is wrong the next year or the next month even.
Oh, wow.
They just keep putting up more solar panels out there. You were there last year, right?
What's that?
Were you there last year?
No, I wasn't. I didn't make it.
Yeah. I think you need to be there. Also, I want to talk about something else.
Yeah. Shoot.
So you know how the Snore Rally is a world rally now?
Yeah.
And like they have the national class, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If he's allowed to do that, why doesn't like every other rally in the whole world beg to do the same thing? Because I hear so much good things about the Africa Eco Race and the 1,000 Dunas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, why do we keep going Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge?
Yeah.
You know?
Do different rounds, or all the rounds offer that? They don't right now, right?
No. Like, I think obviously Darren Stilton has been working probably harder than anyone to, like, I heard he's always wanted it to be a world rally,
Mm-hmm.
but also he doesn't want it to be changed, like he wants it to be still run his way.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be as close as possible to the way he wants it to be run, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that they don't make the road books. Like, Darren doesn't make the road books. The organization makes the road books.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also going to be interesting.
Yeah, that one, I don't know. I can confirm that one, though. I heard it from him that the organization would do the pro class books, and then the national books, I think, are handled locally.
Okay. I didn't know how, like, 100% how it's going to work, because I know people that ride a 450, 500, I don't know what they're going to be allowed, because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no chance that you're going to make normal length stage on one of those bikes in those dunes. The bikes use so much more gas in Sonora, I think.
Yeah, all the sand.
I can go pretty far on the 4.5 gallon tank. Picardo gets on the bike and he's like out of gas at kilometer 100. So
it's on the pipe.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I mean, you've both of you guys ride, I mean, different disciplines. The sand and fuel, do you ride with fuel conservation in mind?
So at Dakar,
mm-hmm.
The team does fuel calculations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is how much gas you need in your bike to finish. But then they also add like a couple liters, like 2 or 4 liters to whatever number, and say, this is how much you need to put in at the refuel. And last year, I would always put in the max, like 34 liters, 32, maybe it's 36 in my bike. I have no idea. And I was like, after stage 2, obviously my whole brain has changed, and I'm like, okay, get more confidence. Let's try to win. And I started actually putting in how much they tell me to put in. And I'd be like, okay, this is a good idea. And then, the stages keep going on, and I start getting closer and closer to the actual number, because I always put like a bit more than whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost one of the stages. I'm like, I'm not going to finish. And then you start getting stressed out about how much gas you're going to use. And for sure, that's when I would be nervous. Like, if I go the wrong way at all, then immediately I'm like, I'm going to run out of gas.
Yeah. So,
but you forget to remember to worry about gas unless you go the wrong way, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It starts playing its toll. I mean, and you guys carry 8-9 gallons on board, something like that.
Yeah.
So, or can carry, which is, I mean, that's a ton, but across a big stage, yeah, you could get lost and especially in the sand. It's one thing to say it's a 100-kilometer stage. It's a whole nother of what the bike is actually going to use when it's all sand dunes.
Yeah. The stage that Sanders was the most sick, or I think he just didn't come in because he had to go to the bathroom, right? Like he's dying.
Yeah.
I was sure people are going to run out of gas.
It was that bad.
So I don't remember which stage it was, but the Heroes ran out of gas.
Yes, I did hear about that. I think it was 2 stages that they ended up having fuel, or is either 2 stages or both bikes running out.
So the Heroes, I can tell you right now, are the fastest bikes out there.
Really?
And I wonder if it's just, I don't know how much gas they have. I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure they carry how much they're supposed to carry.
Yeah.
But they don't have something figured out.
Yeah, it may be. I wonder if it's just like a mapping thing. They got all the horsepower and all the top end, but it's just thirsty more than it should be.
Yeah, but they're fast bikes.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just crazy. Like you work all year, and then there's always something that happens at Dakar, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody. You've seen it. I mean, we saw it at least, sitting, doing the bench racing, right? Watching you guys do all of this. And there's just so much. The one that got me was the earlier stage with all the rain and that rocky terrain.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, dude, this is playing right into, you, Skylar, Jacob. This is playing into your guys' hands because those rough, rocky stages. But then, I didn't
Skylar
even.
and I had no rain, not one drop.
Really?
And we talked to Jake Argybright, and he said he was coming in the pouring rain at night. Like we barely finished in the right time. Like we got so lucky
and got out in front of it.
Top 10 had no rain.
Nice.
And other people had rain since the refuel.
Yeah. Did you get any hero dirt though? I mean, had it rained and then you just didn't get any rain?
For sure. So that's the other thing. I guess I've never done a car where the first week wasn't perfect dirt, which is also frustrating for someone like me who my navigation is supposed to be my strength, right? And if I am opening, then I feel like I put down a perfect track for everyone to see most of the time, except for when you make that whatever mistake.
Yeah.
So when it comes to luck, which I feel like Dakar is a lot of luck to win, my year will be the year that they don't have perfect dirt, and maybe we do the mirrored routes, and I think we have a good chance. But yeah, I only ride in the wet dirt apparently at Dakar.
It's your luck, and then you lay it down. I mean, the good. What I see from that is that nobody will be able to argue the point that you know how to navigate. I mean, that's how I see it. And this year, with the stage win, podiums, up top, second Dakar. What did we come up with? I think is your youngest stage winner on a bike.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So I think that this was. I think it's a fluke, but nobody is exempt from that on a rally this big. You're going to have issues. You're going to have problems, small, big, whatever. It's just going to happen. So I think that you did a hell of a job, proving a point. And in the end, it didn't necessarily pan out how we all hoped, but you got a game plan.
Yeah, I think I'm really glad that you do these podcasts with me, because now all I have to do every year is come back and re-listen to our podcast. Like, what was my problems? What did I realize? What do I need to work on? Listening to your podcast, it's I don't know the word, but
it's a book. It's a bookmark.
Yeah, it's like a diary.
Oh, there you go.
Of everything, and
yeah. Well,
So you're keeping it in the world.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to do that. I mean, and that's what I said. I said it in the intro. You didn't hear the intro, but that's what I was like, episode 99. So that way it's, forever. Whenever it's time to recall it, you're episode 99.
I was thinking 98 would have been better. Actually, Lexi was thinking that.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I mean, I could always re-record the intro.
No.
Why 98?
So,
give me the background.
Now, I didn't finish number 9, right? So Klein is not number 9 anymore. I'm thinking announcement is being made right now. I've ran number 98 at Abu Dhabi last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I went with number 9 this year, I was thinking I didn't want to do it because obviously everybody has run number 9, and everybody that's run number 9 has really good success, except for me. Oh man! But I'm thinking I run 98. Oh yeah, but the reason why I ran number 9, sorry, I don't remember what I'm talking about so much anymore.
Running number 9, and we were talking about it. I know Skylar ran it, right?
Skylar, Ricky, everyone that ran number 9 got a top 5 or a podium or something, or 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I'm going to run 98 because I didn't get number 9. And the reason why you run number 9, well, why I chose number 9 is I was told that the lower number wins a tiebreaker, right? And I guess it's just not true. So at the prologue, I guess it wasn't a perfect tie, but I was tied with like 2 other people to this, maybe 3 other people. And it was the difference between being like 18th and like 15th or whatever.
Yeah.
In the end, I'm glad I was 18th because it puts me closer towards the front where I like to be with less tracks.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the rule now is the winner of a tiebreaker on a stage is the one who had a better result the day before. And I was also thinking that's really silly because you're punished. Like, it's just the person gets punished, right, for doing good the day before and tying with someone else. I mean, for me, I like to start further forward. But let's say you tie with someone for first place on the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I mean, that's a bad example. Everybody wants to win the stage. Let's say you tie for second and third. And the guy who's in third is like winning the overall. And the guy in second, like 50th overall. But the guy in second, since he had bad stages the day before, he gets to go after the guy who's overalling it. And he has 1 track ahead of him. And nobody likes to be near the front with 0 tracks, except for me. Basically, the winner of a tiebreaker loses. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ends up losing, yeah.
Sorry. I'm having a problem, clearly.
It's early in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. That it's like they changed that rule. And yeah, I don't know that kind of sucks. Because you never know, like, you could have had a really good stage and then a really bad stage. I mean, it's the Dakar. You never know. I don't know if it's necessarily the fairest way of doing it. But, I mean, in the end, I mean, the goal is you just focus on your own ride and make it happen. From my end, I think that you should do number 9 again for next year and prove your point.
Yeah, but I didn't get number thing. Like, I don't want to pick a number I didn't get.
Yeah. How do you have to petition for the numbers?
Well, and Andalusia at the last round here, they came up to me on the start of the last stage. I said, "What number would you like?" I said number 9 because that's where I finished. But I guess the other reason why I don't want to run it is if I run 98, it's like a family number,
Okay. So then that's like a tattoo. That's like a tattoo without a meaning. So I would say 98 then, if it's a family number.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think like numbers look dumb and the single digit number looks sweet, but I'm not going to run a single digit number if I didn't earn it.
That's admirable. Then it'll be the number one plate,
Yeah.
That was me knocking on wood. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you've proven, you've done all of this stuff. I mean, you've worked your ass off. You know what you're training on, you know what you need to do. So it's, you're focused on it, which is awesome. And if I was on pro teams, if I was team principal, I would definitely be looking very, very hard.
Yeah. I really want to be on a factory team.
So for all the KTM and Husqvarna team principals of the world that are listening to this, what are you waiting for?
I told my mom and dad, it's like a mental thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have whatever and be the best rider, but when I line up every day, it's like I know that these guys have like this year's a bad example, right? Besides the fact that we had to pay for the motorhome,
mm-hmm.
but like these guys have always had motorhomes and like chefs, and they train everywhere throughout the year. I trained in America
mm-hmm.
at races. They have like a coach with giving them like talking about strategy and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the idea that they're the factory rider, mm-hmm. you line up today already feeling at a disadvantage, I guess, because it's like, how do you not look at these guys and think they have everything better,
Yeah.
Like, I understand you can do good, but for me, it's like I think a lot, and
yeah. But I mean, it's again, they have the fanciness, they have all of these, resources and everything, which you're on your way to. But the fact that you can do it, like to me, look, from the outside looking in, right? You see this and you go, okay, well, if we give them nothing, minimal support, minimal this, minimal that, what can they do with nothing? Because if they can do what they do with nothing, what will they do with everything?
Yeah.
That's what as a team manager, that's what I would want to see. If everything's just handed to you, you don't know how to earn it or you don't know how to appreciate it, then you get on a team, then you're just going to be a prima donna and we're going to have to hire a babysitter.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I said, I don't want to be the princess. I don't want to sound like a princess, even though I definitely sound like a princess, I guess. But also, I want to win. And like, very grateful for all the support from everyone and everything. But it's like, I'm being a real princess right now, nobody needs the 52s, right? Like everybody always talks about the 52s. This is just an example. I've never complained about not having 52s before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if you're going to help someone, but only help them like halfway, like you said, because there's a reason why.
Yeah.
It just makes you think.
Yeah.
They don't love you,
Yeah. I mean, I could, I see what you're saying, but I don't think like, I get it. You want to be there already, and it's because you're hungry, and I think that's why you're feeling that.
Like, I understand everything, right? Like, I understand that
mm-hmm.
Everything needs to be earned. And this year was not a year saying that I earned anything because I didn't even finish. But also, like, as a person who just wants to win, normally you keep this stuff to yourself, right? You just want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like if you don't tell people that you want a factory bike, you don't get a factory bike,
Yeah.
Like, if you don't say something, you don't get something.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so
yeah. Well, the answer is always no if you don't ask, right? I don't know how many times we've all heard that one. So,
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the factory knows your name. I've got a hunch.
Yeah.
So let's talk. So stage 2, right? Top spot on the box.
Yeah.
What was stage 3 like? Lining up, and after, like, okay, I just put this thing on the top box. Mental in the morning, woke up, any other morning? What was that like?
So I got really lucky that Skylar got second, I think.
Bueller on stage 2, it was Bueller, and then it was Skylar.
Skylar got third.
Mm-hmm.
But Skylar was the first one to catch me. I think I was thinking Bueller and Skylar, not very intimidating guys, because like I've been talking to Bueller a lot at the races, and Skylar, not like the Honda guys, or just as an example, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't feel so stressful. Like I was just like, we're just going out for a ride, you know, like Skylar's behind me. It's just like training. And that was really good.
Nice.
I think the stage that I was nervous about starting up front, not even up front, like third, whatever. I don't know. Like there's like a bunch of Honda guys behind me, and some of them look pretty scary. They just look like scary people. And I don't remember which stage it was, but there was a stage where I said, what am I doing up here? You know?
Yeah. A little bit of a reality check.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was a dune stage, and I was like, I don't belong here. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that was 3. Yeah. I mean, well, you do, first of all. I mean, it's good that you don't feel that way, because then that keeps you humble, which is, I think, is awesome. I think anybody that hangs out with you guys, literally the whole family, understands that, you know? And so I think that you're definitely on the right track. And I mean, I see it right now as like with Skylar, right? When Skylar did what he did at the Dakar and just all in, it was kind of like, okay, come on. Like when is this, like, is anybody on a factory team? Like, do they know what the hell they're doing? Because he obviously needs to be on a factory team. He needs that support. He's obviously proven himself. And I think that you're literally in the same boat as him right before he got signed.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just like, it didn't happen often, but like it did happen. So where it's like, you start thinking they're the factory rider, you know? Oh my.
Well, that's the thing. You were the privateer that was up mixing it up and rubbing elbows with the factory guys. So
it's just like a lot of mental stuff in racing, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Hard, yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. I think, you know, especially at the Dakar, it's all, you know, and I was talking to Mo about it, and it's the same thing. It's like, it's all mental game. Rider fatigue is one thing, but you know, the thing that will fatigue you faster is your mentality.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, again, I mean, what you put together and the results and everything, you know, for this rally, again, it wasn't what we expected, but at the same time, where you were at and going into it, like any one of the other competitors that were behind you or in front of you could have literally had the same thing happen. No one was exempt. So the fact, though, that you know, put a stage win, put the thing on the box, you got podiums, you got all this stuff, you know, stopped to help, you know, you still had fun, you're still out there. I mean, all of that stuff is just, it's awesome. So I think that, you know, that it speaks very highly of you, you know, for the future rallies and all that. So what are you looking for? What's the next rally? What are you thinking? Do you already have plans for that?
Yeah, we're going to Abu Dhabi because I want to ride in the dunes. I need to ride in the dunes. And everyone's going to be there.
Nice.
So I should be there.
There you go. Are we going to see you at Sonora?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
I live here, so if I miss this one and I went to every other one, that would be really bad, I think.
Yeah.
I better be able to race it.
Nice.
I hope to be able to race it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Hey, I want also.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides complaining about everything, this whole podcast, I'm going to complain about one more thing. It's not actually a complaint. When we did the training with KTM, like we went to Sonora, we rode in the dune. In the training, I get caught like 60 kilometers into the dunes, like easily. But then in the race, I do better. Nice. But because we did the training with the KTM guys, I'm like, this is the competition. And in the training, like, I'm the worst. It's like another thing that makes me even more nervous, you know? It's like they're coming to our town. They're going to smoke me. You know?
Okay. Yeah. It's in racing. That's right. You have the home field advantage. This is your backyard, and they build it up to be, you know, all of this stuff. But I don't know. I think, you know what? I think it's going to be interesting, right? Because it's my understanding that the organization is the one that does the road books. I don't know if they're like, are they flying out here? Are they verifying it? You know, how are they going to do this? And so I think this could be interesting navigation wise and that stuff. But then also at the same time, how much of that, it's their home turf and all that stuff, but you're used to riding here. So even in the off-road side of it, you're going to have an advantage, just like I think you had advantages in, you know, you, Skylar, Ricky, all of the guys that are used to racing in the deserts down here are going to have an advantage. Where
I feel like we'll have the confidence that we've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for sure, I'm confident about that.
Yeah.
But like, I need to find confidence starting in the dunes, you know?
Yeah.
Need that.
It's interesting because I knew like last year after we talked in the conversation that never happened. I'm forever going to call it that. You know, you're very specific on what you were working on. And after this rally and kind of seeing what happened, like I almost could guess that was what you were going to come back with is that, you know, definitely get focused on the dunes and work more and work harder on that side of it and practicing it. I've not really ridden the dune. I'm not a dune, like I don't go to Glamis. I don't do any of the sand buggy stuff or side by sides or much less even on a 2-wheel motorcycle. But I just feel like that is just such a hard thing to learn, to have the confidence and be able to do that. I mean, what do you see?
I need to be in the dunes so I understand the dunes, because I feel like even the guys opening in the dunes,
mm-hmm.
like they can open faster than I can ride it. I think they see the dune and they know if they can launch off of it or if they're going to stick into it and go over the bars. And I think if I'm just in the dunes, I learn to understand how the dunes are. That's what I need. Because I don't understand the dunes.
Yeah.
I understand, like, if you see bushes in the desert, there's water there, and maybe you hit something in the area and there's going to be an edge where the water went through and you go over the bars. Like, I understand. I feel like I understand the desert,
mm-hmm.
but I don't understand the sand.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see, I mean, going into a corner, the braking bumps are bad or whatever, you know, that maybe that corner is a little bit, you know, more sharper than you think it is, or there's tricks to reading the terrain. But yeah, dunes is kind of difficult, especially the face of them. You know, it's like you don't know until the very last second that, this is steep, you know, on the other side.
Yeah. And also, I must drag the back brakes a lot in the dunes, because on the marathon stage,
mm-hmm.
I came no back brakes, and then the next stage I also had like no brakes the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. So I learned, and I asked Skylar, he said, I think Luciano like slams the brakes at the top
mm-hmm.
and like gasses it down and goes really fast. Like he doesn't jump so much. Other riders jump a lot. Like I think he's hard on the brakes from what I've seen also.
Mm-hmm.
They have brakes all day. So I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. Huh. That would be an interesting one to find, like kind of figure out what that is. I mean, that's, you know, dragging the brake pedal versus slamming on it. I mean, it wears out by dragging and not necessarily locking it up. Sounds like Luciano's locking it up right up at the top. Dude, I don't even know. That, like, it's such a crazy thing here. We got another, who's this guy? Send a voicemail. And popular day. But
I need just to learn. Just got to learn. That's what I learned. Got to learn.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think you know, like you said, if you're already thinking like, okay, we'll go to Abu Dhabi, train in the dunes, do all of this stuff. You've already got the other side of the recipe. You know, you've shown your speed. You've shown that you can navigate. And so, I mean, it's like you're just working on the things that you know you need to work on. Motorhome, nutrition, the recipe's there. the bike was there. How was the bike this year? Was there any changes to the bike from last year to this year? Or the bike you've been riding?
We made some new settings and it was pretty good. I don't know, had no problems really. I don't think I had a bike problem besides water.
Yeah. The water's been an interesting conversation, especially after they said they weren't going to have that happen again because they were going to take precautions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a bummer. Nice. Well, how soon? Well, you still got to do a little bit more recuperation before you get out on the bike.
Yeah. I have no idea when I'll ride again.
Yeah. No. Hey, you got to take your time and get stronger. Now you know what you need to work on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay, so if I'm going to go do this Dan Bart SoCal rally, what should I be getting ready for? I'm doing the Moto-Minded Tower on the 501.
I think it was cold.
Okay.
So warm. I know last year there was a cow and someone hit a cow.
Yeah. Or I think it was...
Don't go wide open around blind turns.
Copy. Oh, I'm going to trail ride this thing. I am not... For all those listening, I want to make sure they understand my abilities. I am like a novice intermediate rider, not intermediate to fast rider.
Yeah. You don't really win anything if you finish first every day. So just be careful.
This is true.
The road books are super good and you find zero issues with them.
Okay. So that's good. So I can eliminate blaming the road book for when I ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. If you go the wrong way, it's your fault. It's not the road.
Check.
I put that out also.
Yeah. Okay.
Last year, kind of windy, and this one guy, Scotty Broman, his easy up flew away, and someone else's tent, I think.
Okay.
Are you staying in?
No, I think I'll take I have a small enclosed trailer. I'll probably stay in that.
Okay. Just put some like wheel chocks on it or something, and it won't fly away.
Just keep it tight. Well, I do have an easy up, but yeah, so tie that thing down.
Yeah, tie down really good.
Yeah. Okay. So stuff to stay warm, practice road books, watch out for the wind. Don't go full send around blind corners.
Yes. Anything else to add about the Baja or the SoCal Rally? It's pretty good, huh?
Make sure you have enough fuel.
Make sure you bring enough gas.
Okay. Full tank every day. Don't screw around.
Yeah. I plan to be there.
Nice. Mo said he would ride with me, so I'll just watch you ride off into the distance and probably ask you for navigating tips.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll try to just be there, have fun, go the right way, not get lost.
There you go. Let's go out, have fun.
Try to finish every stage.
There you go. Show everybody the fast way around the desert.
I'll probably be on like a 500 because my rally bike doesn't work anymore.
Uh-oh.
Just remembered.
Oh, no. That was the other one. I was really thinking about that. Like, should I just ditch the 501 and ditch the 790 and then go all in on a RFR? But then I think like, I don't know, longer Baja rides and stuff like that might not be the deal.
It's sweet. But if you ride in Mexico and you're going to go in the whoops, I don't think Skylar recommends it in the whoops.
Nah. Stick with the...
Andrew Short took it in the whoops, the Yamaha. It's like Supercross whoops.
That just sounds like a tough day.
Yeah.
I trail ride whoop. I'm the guy looking for lines outside of the whoops, just to be perfectly clear.
Yep.
I avoid them like the plague. Nice. Well, cool. Well, I'll let you get to it. I know you guys were talking about going out, either breakfast or doing some therapy stuff. So getting lined up again.
No problem. Thank you, Vic.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time and welcome back stateside, both you and your dad. Glad you guys are back and look forward to hanging out with you guys soon.
Yeah. Sorry for just talking in circles a couple of those times and crying.
No worries. It is early in the morning. We are allowed.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude. Well, cool. Well, enjoy the day, and we will see you on a bike soon.
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. See ya. All right. So that is a wrap. That was Mason Klein. So bright and early in the morning, got stuff to do. He's got a busy day ahead of him, but we really appreciate him taking the time. And yeah, I mean, there's some things. So we know time bonuses are good. That speed limit, that overall 160 kilometer speed limit, I don't know. That may be one of the things going away. I know they really want to work on slowing down the Dakar and slowing down the riders and that kind of stuff. I think they're getting closer to doing that. But yeah, I don't know that that's going to be the way, an overall speed limit like that, or how they could do that. I don't know if they're able to program the Sentinel or the ERTF unit to have that at all times, or what could be done. But there's got to be some stuff. I'm glad to see the organization is working on it. We've got a lot coming up for it. We got a whole nother rally, whole nother few rallies. You guys have heard. I just literally, as of this morning, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should just try and do this thing. So we're gonna work on that. Go see the SoCal rally and do that, and yeah, and man, I got busy day today. You guys don't know what day it is, but today I'm actually this is already the second interview. I've got another one coming up, and possibly even a fourth in the same day. We're bringing you guys a bunch of stuff, so I'm absolutely glad to be back. The Dakar thing is a little bit difficult at times, waking up early, reading results, and then coming up, looking at what the interviews are and what to do. But I'm glad to be back in the rhythm of the regularly scheduled episodes, talking to guys, getting some game plans going, and making things happen. So I'm absolutely excited for it. Again, thank you to Mason for taking the time. And then, of course, you heard his mom, Lisa, and his dad, Larry, chiming in as well. I really appreciate that. And again, that family has always been very, very welcoming. They've had a lot of visitors from afar that go out and do training. If you guys aren't already, you should be following Mason on Instagram. If you're a subscriber, you get to see some of the back end stuff. I got to see it, didn't bother sharing it because, well, you know what? It's cool to just have him, be accessible and be able to see some of his adventures and what he is doing, either being out at the Dakar or even training here. Some of the recommendations and things that he goes through. He's also got his YouTube, if you haven't already checked it out as well. It's Rally with Mason. Definitely want to get up on that as well. So anyway, with that being said, it's time to go wrench on a bike. So remember, it'll make sense when you get there. Enjoy the ride. All right, that is the wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you heard. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others. Also, follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook under Chasing Waypoints, Instagram, Chasing Waypoints _official, and, of course, the YouTube under Chasing Waypoints. Hope everybody has a good week. We will see you guys for the next episode. Remember, shiny side up, and don't forget to tag us. We want to see where you guys are riding and what you guys are up to. Have a great week.